Welcome back, guys. Today we're working on a Nissan Murano. We need to fix this damage, and we're going to look at taking off this fender molding piece. You can see those guys. You need to pry them out. They kind of pop out easily. This is what I call a popper, retaining clip. They go in this hole, and this one up here goes through this and the inner lining there. And these pop out pretty easily if you just pry it out carefully. These, not so much. They can break easily, especially if they're brittle plastic. So you're better off going from behind and using a tool to kind of squeeze them, because they slide in here. You can break that tip off just like this one is. I didn't do that, guys. It was already broken. But it can happen real easily because they hold in better than the other ones. So we also need to readjust this. This is not holding very well right here. You see it's pulled out. The retainer where the screw goes in is not holding in there because this was pushed around and maybe old parts. So here's the screw. I got it out, and then we can pull this bumper free. And you can see how this is just floating in there, not really doing its job. We can even just push it out, so that's not holding at all. We got to adjust all this to make sure it lines up better. There's a little hose. Make sure you don't crimp that or anything when you put this back together. And then what we're going to do, I guess we have to take this thing out. But this is not lining up correctly from the damage. So as you can see, it's just kind of, it's not right. So we got to probably adjust the fender a little bit. There's nothing broken on the bumper cover. So this is pretty thin metal, so we can just kind of manually adjust it, just kind of torque it a little bit, move it little bit by little bit until it actually lines up and clips in and stays in. For now, you can see it's not lined up correctly. You can see here, these just sit on top of this bumper retainer here, but we're going to bend this metal down a little bit and out so that it lines up better. This is probably right where it got pushed around. So now you can see it's lining up just a little off yet. Still not quite holding. So the bumper has to fit right in that clip so it holds it steady and doesn't just keep popping out. Just not quite perfect yet. Once it's perfect, if nothing's busted or worn, it should actually sit right. Make sure the inner liner's not getting in the way when you are pushing this into place. Here's that little screw holder that I pulled out. You can see there's little wings or tabs here that are supposed to hold it in there, and they are completely flat. We have to figure out a way to pull them back out. So after pushing this around a little bit, we're lined up good. It's actually holding way better than it was. You know, even with me just pulling on it, it's not popping right out. So it's lined up pretty good. So now I went and sanded all that out and primered it. Got the damage taken care of. We're going to have to fill a little bit there. You can still see the dent. But all this cleaned up pretty good. So that's actually looking great. See, this one's broken. You're going to have to pry down the inner liner to get behind here so you can push these guys out. There's a couple little tabs on the back that you have to push one at a time or more than one at a time. So it takes a little bit of work, but if you have tough fingers, you can get them out. The other option is to go in here on the side where these tabs are. Just kind of gently push it and pry it a little bit. You got to do it to the other side without the first side popping back in, which is what happened here. So if you push one side, you need two hands so you can kind of hold it out. But then there, that's what they look like on the inside. And that's the safest way to do this. So now you take this and you got to reinsert it into your molding so that when you line it up and pop it in, it goes straight in and locks itself back into place. And then here I just stuck some tape behind these little wings. So at least for now, as long as that tape stays in there and keeps it solid, you might want to find something stronger, but it's what I had in the moment. Now we can push this back into its hole, and it'll clip in there and should stay in place. As long as the hole is not misformed, misshapen. There we go. Popped right in, and it seems solid. So I'm happy with that. Alright, now we're painted, we're cleared, everything's done with the damage. She's looking actually pretty nice. We're going to roll with that. Time to put her back together then. Yeah, get a good look at that in the sun. She looks great, color matches. Looks awesome at the door line. Beautiful. Alright, we flip this around and pop it on. You'll be done when you stick these poppers in here. Up here, make sure you go through all the layers. I gotta do that while I'm looking. And then we have another one to go in down here. Again, this guy goes down here. If you have a mud flap, there you go. These screws, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and underneath, and you'll be done. Guys, see you in the next one. Subscribe for more, and have a great day.